Okay, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon to Dr. Johanna and my fellow friends. So today we will be proceeding with assignment 2 where the implementation of linked list has been placed in our meeting room booking system. So let's go with the introduction. So as you can see over here, the introduction is also the same as assignment 1, but linked list is used to ensure the list is not stored continuously. Each nodes contain an element and a pointer to a structure containing a successor. So in this system, pointed by nodes and lists are used to declare null or occupied, and also to find, insert, and display the list with constructor and destructor. Later you can see these all things in a coding. So as you can see over here, we have a 5 main function where we have a user and admin function which are used to log in for login system, where the user and admin has to key in their ID and the password. And moving on for the user function, where after they have successfully logged in, they have to key in their email address and their phone number, which will be displayed later for the payment function over here. Okay, so for moving on to the admin function, it's used to restore the check-in and check-out for the users. And for the room function, it helps the user list, to display the room information on admin and user interface. And moving on to the booking function, as you can see, so over here we already have put the head and the head admin and the room head. So for the booking function, admin search and display booking info, history, and availability by just key in the user ID. And moving on to the last function, which is a payment function. So over here, payment, how to do the payment, what are the methods of the payments, and amount for the booking from user, display info on the payments after the checkout. As just now I've said, when the phone number and the email address are recorded, so it will display back on the payment function. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna describe with you for the admin list and the booking list, the implication of the linked list. So let's go with the admin list. So as you can see over here, the admin point to the head admin, the pointer to the head admin, and this is the constructor that has been made where the head admin value is initialized to the null. And this is the void function to store the admin data. As you can see, this is the operation that will be done. And this is to check the validity of the ID and the password. If let's say the ID and the password is not correct, it will show invalid, or else if the ID and the password is correct, it will show it is valid. So head admin is equal to head admin not point to the next, and it will return the validity and it will allow the access to the admin. So this is the destructor for the admin list. So as you can see, admin point to the current admin equal to head admin. Okay, let's see over here. While the current admin, that means the list is not null, the list is not empty, then it will destroy the current admin. So the list can be empty again, or it can be null again. So let's run and see this code. Okay, hold on. Okay, it's loading. Okay, so we go for the admin. We have to key in the ID, which is X999, and the password is 963852. Okay, as you can see, valid ID and the password loading to the admin menu. So it has been given access. Okay, so let's go to the booking list. So this is the class book list. The booking point to the head, and as you can see over here, this is the constructor, and head is initialized with the null value, which is where there's no data before it. So void insert, this is to store the data, the function to store the data. Okay, so over here you can see the booking point to the new book is equal to new booking. So create a new node to get the booking info. So this is the user room. I think this is the stored data that already stored in a text file. This is the date of the meeting, time of the meeting, period, and the time of the booking for the user. All right, so booking point to the current book is initialized with the head, and the booking point to the previous book is initialized to the null. So when the booking is not null, the previous book is equal to the current book, and the current book is equal to the current book, which not point to the next. So as you can see, if head is null, which is head is empty, the first element in the book list file will be inserted after the head. So when the head is null, only then it can be inserted. Or else new book is not equal to next, is equal to previous book, not point to the next. Okay, let's if you want to find the booking on the certain date, so this is the function to find the booking. and the booking point to the current book, which is initialized with the head, the current index is initialized to the 1, and this is the condition to locate the index of node. So over here, the current booking is equal to current book will point to the next, and if it is not found, it will increase the current index node to find further until it found the current booking. If still it doesn't found, then it will show there is no booking found on this date. So if there is a booking is not null, the list is not empty, then it will get these data such as room shown below. Okay, user ID, room number, date of use, time of use, period, and the time of book. Okay, so this is the function for the void to display the booking. So if booking point to the current booking is equal to head and the current index initialized to the 1, and while current booking is not null, that is inside that list there is a booking found, then it will display this data, which is room number, date of use, time of use, period. And further on, if not found, it will start researching, it will increasing the current index to find the node. And this is the destructor for the booking list to remove the current booking. So while the current booking is not null, that means the list is not empty, then it will destroy the booking. So let's see this function, how it runs. Okay, let's see, we want to check the room status. Sorry. Okay, let's enter the date. Let's enter the date 12/12/2020. Okay, on this date there is a no booking found. Let's see which date. Let's insert the date that there is a booking. So 01/01/2022. As you can see over here, there is a booking found on this certain date. Okay, also admin can also check in and check out the user. So let's go. If you want to check in the user, you just need to enter the ID. Let's enter 001 and the room number will be R001. This is how the check-in is recorded, the time and the date is recorded. And if you want to check out, this goes to the same process. To A001 R001. Okay. So yeah, this is for the admin work, and that's all from me. And the next for the user and the room list will be explained by my partner. So I hope you will enjoy this video. Thank you very much from my side.
Hi, my name is Pang Cheng-yi, and now I will continue to explain about the implementation of linked list when the admin want to check the user information and search the user information using the user ID. You can see here the class user is act as the not class, which consists of the data and the pointer with variable next that point to the next node in the user list file for the linked list function. And this is the user list class, which act as the linked list class that consists of the pointer with variable head1 to point to the first node in the user list file and a series of operations. This is a constructor user list, and the variable head1 is initialized to null because the list is empty from the beginning. And this is the void set user data function, which used to store the user data that read from the user list file for the use in the following operations. And in the user list function, it is also used to check the validity of the user ID and password that entered by the user to log in the system. If the ID and the password entered by the user is correct, which is same as the data stored in the text file, then it will return valid. Otherwise, it will return invalid, so that the user need to enter the ID and password again. And in the user list class, it also consists of the function for admin to search user based on the user ID. The current user is the node that is initialized with head1, and the current index is initialized to 1. And this is the condition that try to locate the index of the node that being searched, whether it is equal to the user ID that input by the admin or not. So if the ID is not found, it will continue to loop this while loop. Then after that, if the node is successfully found, which means that it is equal to the user ID that input by the admin, so it will display the user data that consists of the username and the user ID. And otherwise, if there is no such user ID in the user list, so it will display this ID does not exist. And this is the display user data function, and this function will be called when the admin wanted to check the user information. This current user is an external node and initialized that equal to head1, and the current index also initialized with 1, and this is the condition. While the node is not equal to null, it will continue to read the data, get the username, get the user ID, and get the user password. After after the first user data is stored, then the node will point to the next node, and the current index will increase until the end of the list. The last function in the user list function is the destructor user list. The destructor will release all the memory that used by the user list by destroying the current user node until the list become empty again. So let's see how the linked list function implement when the admin choose to check the user list. You can see here the user data is displayed, and the admin are able to search the user by using the user ID. Let's enter one user ID, and it will display the user information. Furthermore, the linked list function also used in display the meeting room information and find the price of the room selected by the user. You can see this is the room class, and this room class is act as the node class that consists of the room data and a pointer with variable next that point to the next node in the room list file for the implementation of linked list function. And this room list class is the linked list class that contains the pointer with variable room head that to point to the first node in the room list file. Understand? This is the constructor, and the room head is initialized to null since the room list file is empty initially. There is also a set room data function that stores the meeting room information that read from the room list file for the following operation. Firstly, we create a new node, and this new node will point to get the meeting room information, which read the room number, room type, the capacity, and the price of the meeting room. And this current room node is initialized equal to room head, and the previous room node is initialized to null. So this is a condition. While the current room node is not equal to null, it will implement this, which the previous room is equal to current room node. And the current room node will point to the next node. And this is the condition. If the room head is equal to null, then the new room that points to the next node will equal to room head. This means that the first element in the room list file will be inserted after the room head. Or otherwise, if the room head is not equal to null, so the new room that point to the next node will equal to the previous room node that point to the next node. And then the previous room node that point to the next node will equal to new room. And this part indicates that the following elements in the room list file will be inserted after the previous node. And the next function in the room list class is display room data that used to display the meeting room information in admin and user interface. It is the same. This current room node is equal to the room head, and the current index is initialized to 1. So while the current room node is not equal to null, it will get the first element in the room list file, and after that, the current room node will point to the next node, and the current index will increase. It will continue to get the meeting room information data until the node is pointing to the null. Next is the find room select price function. This function is used to search the meeting room price that's selected by the user. And firstly, this current room node is initialized to room head, and the current index is equal to 1. So this is a condition that used to locate the index of the node that being searched to see whether it is equal to the room number that entered by the user. If the current room node is found, which means that it is equal to room node that input by the user, it will display the meeting room information, which is the room number, the price of the room per hour, and the period of the use of the meeting room that input by the user. And then it will display the total payment that need to pay by the user. Or otherwise, if there is no booking added by the user, it will display error. And lastly is the destructor, which used to release all the memory that used by the room list. So the current room node will equal to room head, and this next room node is initialized to null. So this is the condition. While the current room node is not equal to null, which means if the list is not empty, the next room will equal to the current room node that point to the next node. It will destroy the current room node until the room list become empty. So now let's see how was the implementation of the linked list when user log into the system, add the booking, and proceed to the payment. Enter the user ID, password, phone number, and email. First, we add a booking and select a date and the time of the use of the meeting room. and the period of use. So the booking is successfully recorded. We can see in show booking details if the user wish to check the meeting room information. The room information will display when this display room data function in room list class is called. And now let's see if we proceed with payment. How was the find room select price function operate? Let's proceed. You can see here the room number that selected by the user is found, so it displays the meeting room information. And this is the price of the meeting room per hour and the period of use of the meeting room that input by the user. Then after that, it will display the total payment that need to pay by the user and the pay amount, and it will display the payment info. So that's all from us. Thank you.